What's up? I'm Nelson. Welcome to my channel. Here I talk about sex, love, and movies. I've been really blessed in my life. I've dated lots of really amazing women. I've had really good sex. That kind of sex where time seems to stop and the universe seems to glow around us. I felt like stories from Eastern religions where Shiva and Shakti were making love, and the swirl of their love and orgasms would create new and expanding consciousness, life, and energy. In The Game of Life and How to Play It, Florence Scovel Shinn tells the story of a young woman who dances and speaks her affirmations daily. The use of movement, voice, and intention to create new manifestations and miracles. Imagine that dance, but with a partner. It makes me think of Napoleon Hill's concept of a mastermind. When two or more people join together with the same intention, the same focus, he says it becomes one of the most powerful forces in the universe, able to manifest or create anything. Sex is obviously inherently creative. You're making babies after all. Well, sometimes. But what if you use that same sexual energy to create new things? Ideas, stories, businesses, artwork, software, or screenplays. Drive My Car centers around Yusuke and his wife, Oto. They live a seemingly normal life in Japan. He's an actor, and she works for a TV station developing new screenplays. We find out that the couple once had a child who died from pneumonia. Traumatized, the couple's sex life changes. I think they realize the finiteness of life, or the fragility of it, I guess, and they decide to use their sex to create new works of art instead of another child. There are these really great scenes where we see them having sex, and Oto, with her husband, begins speaking a stream of consciousness. She's telling a story, as if infused with the intelligence from the universe itself. It reminds me of mystic channelers like Paul Selig or Esther Hicks with Abraham, or even Socrates and his daemon. She uses sex to channel that creative force, and then uses her voice, her words, her movement to impregnate her husband with the story, the idea. And together they conceive this new idea. Yusuke mentions later in the movie that she would often tell him stories while they made love, and then forget as if in a trance. The next day he would then repeat the story to her and she would document it. The act of impregnation of the idea, the night of gestation, and then the birth through the retelling the next day. This wasn't mentioned in the movie, but because of our understanding of how memories work, I can imagine that some of the story was altered by staying in his mind overnight. And then as it's born the next day, it's a new product of the mastermind that exists between the two loves. So the idea, I think, is to intentionally use movement, breath, intention, and words to become sort of a ritual or a prayer that you offer to the universe in exchange for a new creative outlet, whether that's a child or a book. And I think that's the basis of sex magic. Obviously, all of that can be done without a partner if you're single or not having sex, like I said before, but when you have a partner, it becomes that mastermind. It makes things a lot easier and there's a lot more power involved. So now let's share a quick exercise that I do some mornings when I feel my sexual energy sort of stagnated and I want to transfer it to a more creative outlet. It's a traditional Kundalini exercise called, or pose. It's a traditional Kundalini pose called stretch pose. It looks like this. We're going to do that and also use breath of fire. Don't do breath of fire if you're pregnant or menstruating. Basically, when you're in this pose, you're going to take a deep breath. Think about squeezing your first and second chakra, releasing that, focusing on your core, and then do breath of fire. Think about your third chakra, your core, right behind your belly button. Breathing in, pushing the air out. It's a very, very subtle, automatic inhale that you don't have to worry about. All you're doing is focusing on that exhale. Thinking about your core. It wakes up your third chakra, your core, which drives your self-esteem and motivation. It's a really good way to start your day, but it also forces all of the sort of stagnant energy in your lower two chakras to be forced up and pushed out of your crown. When I first started doing this, I can only do it for 30 seconds. but now I do it for about 2 minutes. So incorporate that into your morning routine. I do it right after meditation, and it really gets me ready for the day. Cool. Thanks for watching. See you next time.